some of the scenes from City of Rott 1, and these were called the image ready setups for the animations. So what I would do is this would be the setup, and then you go from there. But this was the pizzeria, and then this was the scene with the rot worms in the water. And here's Fred going through the apartment building. This is one of the later scenes. And then here's Fred looking at an old slice of pizza, and the flies are there. He's not too thrilled about it. You can see over here all the pizza's all rotten. And then here's Fred walking up the hill here. Even the country has the zombies in it. And then here he is back in the pizzeria. Medium pizza $9.99. Large pizza is $12.99. Toppings are $1 each. Soda $1.99. And one slice of pizza $2.50. That's kind of expensive for back then. Today that's about average, I guess, or maybe that's cheap. But the zombies were there too, and here he is walking down the apartment complex. There's a zombie right back there. And with this setup, I actually have the full zombie here, and then I would move him here, and then Fred, I would just move forward. This scene, it works here okay because he's facing forward, but the main reason I don't have him face forward like this in the past is because I don't want him looking at the camera. So that's why I'd rather have him at an angle. Only because I don't want him breaking the fourth wall, I guess, where you're normally not supposed to be looking at the camera. But I had that happen a lot in this movie back in 2005 when I was first creating it. Alright, so here he's going through the suburbs, and you can see all the zombies there, and the setup of the intersection here, and he was walking through. And then 007, that was one of the apartment numbers. There's 005. And here he's going through this really rough looking forest here. These are actually rot trees, but you can't see any of the rot on them. But the branches give it away. Here he is pulling out his license, and he's got $5 bills in there. And this is the scene in the pizzeria where he's got the zombies coming after him. He's got his double guns. I did want to mention that these are cartoon weapons. They're not based on anything real. I know some would like me to base it on real weapons, but I just rather keep it generalized and fun and not serious. These are just cartoon creations, my own design. I'm not trying to replicate anything in real life. So here, this scene is actually going to play into the City of Rott origin prequel film, but I don't want to reveal what it's about, so I won't say anything. And then here's this scene, nothing lasts. That's partly true, I'd say. Everything eventually disappears or takes a different form, but nothing, well, actually everything is temporary. I'd say that's pretty accurate. And then there's the sun. Here are the clouds gathering in, and they'll have the rain. That was later on in the first City of Rott. Here's a big zombie horde after Fred, and the rot worms too. So they're going to play a big role in the origin film. So I got to have a lot of rotworms all over the place. And of course, a lot of zombies. Now, I did want to mention the zombies had a 3-frame walk cycle, and that was only because I was limited with image ready. I tried to have like a 6-frame walk cycle and a 10-frame and a 20-frame, but that would be 20 different layers that I'd have to have in here, and then 20 layers for Fred, and it just slowed the whole process down unbelievable because I had so many things going on. Even in a scene like this would be 3 layers, 3 layers, 3 layers, 3 layers, 3 layers, and then a layer behind here. So all those layers add up really quick. Usually I could have probably like 30 layers maximum, and then things would really slow down after that. Maybe that was even too much. But here's the barn, and he's walking up to it. And there's the cow, the poor cow. Even the animals aren't immune to the rot worms, as Origin will reveal a lot more of. But here are the big clouds pouring in, and the rain contains the rotworm eggs that are microscopic, so they precipitate right into the air. And then here's a really cool image. I'm going to try to have a couple scenes where he's walking away from the camera. I think this is a cool variety to the angle, to have some scenes where he's walking away from the camera instead of always at a third-degree angle. Have these scenes where he's walking away. I think this is effective for the variety of it. And these 2 rotworms, and then he has to get in one of these doors here. Looks like I had just generalized numbers there, nothing specific. And there's the car scene with John. And the car drives through here, and then I think it makes a left or a right. I'd have to watch the film again. Oh, it looks like a policeman right here turned into a zombie, and then one right there. Those do look like Benjamin, but Benjamin is a security guard, so he's a little different. Town square, left lane, city drive, right lane only. Auto body parts, that was a joke to represent zombies biting off the different limbs. And then Texas chainsaws, that was another, of course, homage to a classic original film. Here's the door. He's got to snap the door open. They control you. That represents the zombies taking over the brain. And then he walks up to this face here, and he says, I could go for a slice of pizza right about now. And then he goes and gets the slice of pizza. I like the bloom effect I created on the top here by the car. That looked cool. I did that with Sarah too in the beginning. Maybe I should try that again in the origin film. Exit 68, outskirts town. He's heading out further out from the city. Center City Boulevard, Highway West End, stay left. This is where his motorcycle, I think, went down the street, or the car. I think the car went down the street here. That's a cool image there. I should have had more stuff happening in this scene. But I'll bring back something like this in the sequel I'm sorry, the prequel origin film. I think I could probably do something with that. No guarantees, but I'll consider it. And then here he is at the pizzeria. The zombies are attacking him. Here's a cool image of the city, or the bridge of Rott. And then there's the window and the water. And the place is a mess here. And there's the car John's driving, and he's like, I can't go this way. So he's got to back up and turn around. There's the newsstand that has a lot of the newspapers just printed out back then before the plague. Well, during the plague, they printed out the news, and you have to go grab a copy. And there's the big clouds pouring in. The clouds carry probably about 20% rotworm eggs because they're microscopic, and they just absorb into the raindrops and the moisture, and then that pours down. And if a person gets a rotworm egg on their skin, the worm quickly detects it, that it's on a host, and then it hatches and burrows right in, a microscopic size. So the rain is very dangerous. And of course that goes into the water and the streams and the wells and the lakes and the rivers and the ponds. So it's really bad news. And I have kind of like a backstory to the rotworm in the origin film for where they're from and all of that. Kind of like their history. So here he's talking to himself about the worms again, and the zombies and stuff like that. Somebody spray painted on there a couple things. GAR was here. GAR, that was actually a tribute to George A. Romero. He wasn't actually there, but somebody, a cartoon character, spray painted that. It could represent anything, but I just generalized it. And then this sign with the t-shirts, this is just how advertising of some of these brands tends to be sometimes. Like they want you to join the idea that you have to buy this famous brand sneaker. All right, so then here's Fred zooming on his motorcycle from that Plaza Mall, outer mall. And then here's a $5 bill shuffling in the wind, kind of showing that money's no more valuable anymore. Not valuable. There's the city. This is a cool shot where he's walking up at that angle. This is almost like a isometric video game where he's walking up there. And then there it is again with the shoes. That was, why don't you have this brand shoe? I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a fan of a certain brand of sneaker. That's fine. But when they really stress that you have to have this brand and no other brand, and you can't make your own choices for what type of shoe you're supposed to wear, that's when it gets too far. Alright, so here's a hardware store. I think I wrote something in the movie here, but I don't see it listed here in this setup. But here's the famous newspaper that Fred reads to realize, well, he never really fully realizes it, of what's going on there. And there's the pizzeria that he just walked out of. And then there's the way he goes towards the the hills. And these telephone poles will play a role in the origin film. Not these specifically necessarily, but well, actually they might. But that'll play a role. Here's an old scene that he gets his motorcycle going and the zombies are all over here. And there's a pair of slippers that John finds. Some of the setup shots that I did for City of Rott 1 back in 2005, 2006. That was 20 years ago. I was 30 years old and then 31. And I said, I gotta start my own studio. So I started with the chicken cartoon in 2003, and then 2004 and 2005 it got accepted into the San Diego Comic-Con as one of the entries. So I had to go there and present it to the crowd. That was not my ideal situation. I don't really like being in front of a crowd there. But I made the most of it. I was trying to get a distribution deal for City of Rott because I started working on that in 2005. So I had little business cards with City of Rott and the chicken chop shop on there that I was handing out. And one of the distributors was there, and they were supposed to watch my film, the chicken film, but I don't think they showed up, or if they did, they didn't take interest in it. So then later in 2005, I think it was October, around then, I looked in, I think it was Rue Morgue or Fangoria magazine, the horror magazines, and I saw an advertisement for Rock and Roll, which was a animated film that was being distributed by Unearthed Films. And I said, oh wow, that's cool, they're advertising for an animated film. Let me write to them and see if they'd want to distribute City of Rott. And sure enough, the first one that I wrote to was the first deal I got for City of Rott. And that went into Hollywood Video and Movie Gallery and on the Blockbuster website. And I don't know if it made it in Blockbuster video stores, but it might have. I never actually saw it in there, but I did see it in Hollywood Video. I should have took a picture of it. Seeing it on the shelf, that was a lifetime achievement for me. But I'm excited to be working on City of Rott Origin. I just want to thank all the fans out there who enjoy the City of Rott and my other films. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. But thanks for watching, and I'll keep updating as I go on the City of Rott Origin. It's progressing pretty well so far. I got to put together a trailer for August 2026, the 20th anniversary of City of Rott 1. Thanks a lot.